killing us. He's killing us. You gotta hire him back. Why? I guess he's like...
Any long-term fans remember like Macho Man, Randy Savage, Jake Roberts, Ultimate Warrior? Yeah. So like Macho Man, Randy Savage challenged Ultimate Warrior for career versus respect or steroids. And yeah, he lost. He had the emotional farewell. Bye. And he came back a while later, but there was a gap. So when he came back, people weren't going, hey, it was only, back then 6 months was a really long time for wrestling. So you think the worst thing about this isn't John Cena saying goodbye, because a lot of people about that high and that female would be going, oh, no, John Cena, no. But then you'd think they'd wait until a pay-per-view to market it, hey, the return of John Cena. But yeah, an hour later he's back. Because apparently all wrestling fans have ADD.
Yeah, it's been that way.
Where's John Cena?
They were so deathly afraid of advertising a show with this guy. And I get it. I mean...
a thing about that was the match where John Cena got fired. They spoiled the end of the match during the pay-per-view.
Did they
before
on WWE.com? Yeah.
No, during the pay-per-view, as a commercial, they showed Nexus in the next pay-per-view.
Yeah. I missed that.
They showed the Nexus symbol in the bragging rights commercial, which it didn't have Cena in it.
No.
Or it had Cena in it, I think, but it had the Nexus brand in it. Proving that...
Yeah, but Cena didn't he get fired at Survivor Series, which was after bragging rights?
Yeah, but that was before the match aired, though.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't fucking pay that much attention. I just watch them online. And
I know for a fact that the night when it was about Cena, I was watching it, and I saw the commercial air just like an hour into it. And it showed the Nexus brand.
That was when it was, if Cena wins, Nexus is dissolved.
Yes,
or
it was that.
if they lose,
then
Cena joins
Then
Nexus.
Cena joins Nexus. Okay,
Here's
I got
that I liked about the Cena angle. Okay, so Cena basically engages in this campaign of, let's call it terrorism against the Nexus. He is assaulting these people outside of work. He's showing up at the arena, committing aggravated assault on these people. I know it's a wrestling business, I know it's a wrestling show, but he's not hired by there. And you're like, why does security? And they're like, and Cena's like, well, security likes me better than you because you beat security up. Okay, how about the police? But he is trespassing technically. But here's the thing. I guess what John Cena, our hero, is trying to say is that if you feel you've been wrong, the only way to get what you want is to engage in terrorism.
You better watch those accusations.
I'm just saying what they're saying. So.
Especially after all the promos he did with R-Truth.
So one Cena was a Mexican terrorist.
I'm gonna do this properly with no bullshit. If I lose, I'm leaving, and then I'll like have some fuel to make it R-Truth.
Yeah, well, I actually.
No, that's not gonna.
I thought they might actually be going somewhere with that. I gave them way too much credit.
Yeah.
And especially when CM Punk kind of came out, was like, he basically was like me. He's like, you didn't miss a day, you liar. And I was like, he sucks like me.
It's like Don West, before he disappeared or whatever, got put in a bus. When he was the heel for TNA, I don't know if he was the commentator.
Yeah.
He was the heel because he was the voice of reason, the voice of logic. So instead of going, this match makes sense, he goes, but those guys interfered. Why are they doing that? So he's like, shut up.
Actually, I know where Don West went. He sells shit on the website. That's pretty much all he does.
But it's okay. You replace Don West with Taz, who just makes a dick joke every 15 minutes with a New York accent. And
Let the pigeons loose!
Oh, right in the yam bag! Right in the yam bag!
I don't get that.
Dressed up like Marilyn Chambers. I mean Monroe.
Have you seen what Lacey Von Erich's doing lately?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Have you seen this? Okay. She's doing this thing, and I don't know how to describe it.
Wrestling.
No. I'm not talking wrestling. If you don't know, Lacey Von Erich is a women's wrestler in TNA.
Not anymore.
She got laid off?
Oh, yeah, like,
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. But anyway, what she's doing now is there's some kind of website that markets these like specialty videos, heavy quotes, where she wrestles a match, but she's wrestling a match with a cameraman. So like, imagine this.
imagine you're holding a camera and Lacey Von Erich is wrestling you. So this entire video is like a wrestling match from your point of view, where you're wrestling Lacey Von Erich. It's POV wrestling. And the only way I can think of describe this is it's porn. There's no nudity in it, but it's fetish porn. You are wrestling Lacey Von Erich. Badly. But this is like, wow, I didn't think there was a rock bottom to the pro wrestling business, but I think.
Angelina Love and Velvet Sky are doing specialty matches with each other that you can custom order.
I would fucking pay to see that.
Like if it's a baby oil match, or it's like a pudding match, a lingerie match, and all this stupid shit. Basically, if you're on the roster of TNA, you have tits, you're sucking dick or doing something.
Wow. What else was on that list? Oh, Hornswoggle.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
Man's greatest son.
And I think the angle that made it on there was the Little People's Court.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've all forgotten about that one, but when that was on TV, that one hurt a lot. But I don't think that was the worst thing on there, because actually, you know what? Shawn Michaels kind of saved that one. Because there were moments in there where they were getting attacked by the dwarfs. And Shawn Michaels, I remember he was like, there's this whole little world under the ring that they established where like the midgets dwell. And so they get found guilty, like DX gets found guilty by the Little People's Court for breaking their contract with Hornswoggle. The more you try to understand this one, the less it makes sense. But the midgets attack DX, and DX is desperately trying to escape, and they're crawling out from under the ring. And I remember this. Triple H escapes, but also like Shawn Michaels is like, oh man, that was close. And all of a sudden he gets pulled back out of the ring like a horror movie. He's like, ah, ah, ah. And I remember you can hear him yelling, they're tearing me in half. And Triple H fucking corpses that scene.
So HBK will even sell the midgets.
I like how they're advertising HBK as the greatest wrestler of all time now that he's going in the Hall of Fame.
He sold the whole squad.
Yeah. No, not because of that, but
Yeah, but come on, he kind
He did
of
it with
was.
TNA. That's
I mean, fuck yeah. I mean, aside from like Ric Flair, come on. Who the fuck else do we really?
Get the fuck out of here.
No, fuck Hogan. Fuck Hogan. Fuck Hogan.
oh no.
Great charisma, great talent, but fuck, he can't wrestle.
My fat ass can do a big boot and a leg drop, alright?
That is a good point. That is a good point. I will not deny it. But now that I've grown up, I realize fuck Hogan.
Ric Flair, man, that guy.
Ric Flair is on top, yeah, but still.
It's kind of creepy for me to watch Ric Flair.
Did you hear about him talking about like eating Dixie Carter's ass on national television?
No, but I remember.
He's like, oh, Dixie's, I got a place for you to sit. Yeah.
That was actually kind of funny because when they let him go off on like say whatever he wants in that ring, he says some weird stuff.
And he chucks Smirnoff Ice is like a champ.
Here's a question: did that ever amount to anything?
No.
Like every week they do this thing where he's all woo woo woo, Smirnoff Ice.
In a market
He's trying to appeal to a younger demographic.
Yeah. It was Mickey James.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Like he was hitting on Dixie Carter, but I remember there was one time where Mickey James, for some reason, the women are fighting, and the women in TNA are all the same character. They are all just harpies. I'm not kidding. If you close your eyes and listen to any women's promo, I guarantee you won't be able to tell who's talking, because they're all just like, she's a slut and she's a whore. Anyway, they do these backstage brawls, and for some reason they seem to think like 8-minute backstage brawls between the women are like just the best thing going. So these women are fighting. For some reason, Ric Flair gets involved and separates them. No idea why. So they get in there and Mickey James slaps him. And he's like, and she slaps him again. And he's like, you do that again, I'll make a woman out of you.
And I was like, did he just say he was going to rape Mickey James? And I'm like, immediately after that, he didn't quite, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said basically this, like, she slapped him. He's like, do it again, I'll wait, what are you? She slaps him again. And he's like, I will put my dick in you! Forcibly! And I'm like... And then, but it's okay because he goes, woo!
The Hall of Fame ring to Abyss. The
magic ring. Okay, again, recap. Again, recap.
Oh, Jesus.
Before this whole they angle, which again is also on the Gooker list, the whole they are coming thing. Back when Hulk Hogan first joined TNA, he's like, I looked high and low in TNA for the guy who was going to inherit my throne, brother, and it's Abyss. And Abyss by this time is a complete pussy.
Yeah.
He's all afraid. He's like, I don't know, Mr. Hogan, I don't know what to do. He's like, listen, brother, you need to step up and grow a sack. And brother, here's how it's gonna work. This ring means everything to me, brother. I want you to have it, dude. And he's like, I feel it, Hulk. I feel the power. And from then on, Abyss literally has superpowers.
Hulk Lanterns light!
I remember, was it AJ Styles had the title belt?
Yeah.
And they had a title match. It was Abyss versus AJ Styles. And Abyss had such superpowers that he chokeslammed AJ Styles through the center of the earth.
It would have been great if on live television you don't see the plywood underneath the mat apron slide out right before AJ gets slammed through it.
But that match gets worse. But seriously, like, he chokeslams him through the ring and then they cut away and like it's in China. And AJ's like, what the fuck? And then like they call the match off. It's like nobody wins. It's a DQ. Okay. So like and then it gets weird. Yeah, like all of the bad guys, like all of Fortune comes in, like Beer Money starts running around and they start attacking Abyss, but Abyss has superpowers, so he's like, nah. And he starts like beating the shit out of him. And then Ric Flair starts like he starts doing bumps for Invisible Swordsman. He like gets in the ring and like Abyss just looks up and he's like, woo! And he like falls over. And then they start like doing a Benny Hill sketch. They start like running around, and then like Ric Flair falls on all fours and Beer Money trips over him and they fall in the hole and they appear in China. And then Earl Hebner falls in the hole and like and by the, like they're like, thanks for buying this pay-per-view. Goodbye. Here's my problem.
Those really grinds my...
That would be funny if they appeared in Little People's Court. Orange Swoggl's like, the fuck you doing here? Here's my problem though. And this is why you never do disqualifications on pay-per-view. You paid money for this!
But it changes hands.
Right, it's not a pay-per-view, it's just a Netflix episode.
Nobody legitimately buys TNA pay-per-views.
That's, I know, like everyone streams TNA pay-per-views.
Oh yeah.
I know you do. I totally threw him under the bus.
Yeah, and you're like, where's the link?
I'm like, yeah, give me the link, dude. I gotta make fun of this shit.
Wait. Mick Foley and Ric Flair's little interaction in the ring where they both bust themselves.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
Dude, no,
That was not awesome. That was like...
I'm gonna kick before you, alright.
That was two insane... That was two insane old bastards. Just like... I didn't even understand a single word they said.
Oh, yeah.
They were just like Ric Flair is like... He's like... Hogan! I got something to say to you, Hogan! Woo! Woo! And then Mick Foley comes to the ring, and he's like, Ric Flair! You called me on New Year's Eve and you were drunk! And you said, I don't want to go to TNA, but I said, woo! and then they just start going, they just start getting in the ring like, woo, 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 woo. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And Ric Flair, all of a sudden, he's like, oh, you want to woo? Then the jacket comes off, and that's when shit gets real.
Thrust when he starts yelling.
If you don't like Ric Flair, when the jacket comes off, that's when he starts getting full on crazy. I always mark out like a schoolgirl, because if you've ever seen Ric Flair freak the fuck out, this is what he does. He's like, you want to fight?